Up Nation.
Let's go. Friday vibes with my guy.
Friday vibes, man.
With
Friday
Professor
vibes.
Neely.
Yeah.
You know?
Congrats.
Hey, man. You just got to keep evolving and moving up. You
Bro.
know, so Professor it is.
I definitely didn't have any professors as cool as you.
You know?
Or Coach Prime or Bucky.
I was about to say that. I was about to say it was a trifecta, a triumvirate of coolness with the tip of the spear being Deion Sanders himself, a.k.a. now Professor Prime.
I want to hear about this. You want to...
Hold on.
Okay.
We're presented by Illegal Pete's, everyone's go-to spot for burritos, buddies, and beers.
Good job, man.
Also, just real quick, DC, so we can just get this out of the way.
Diet Coke.
You
I got
don't
one.
want to wait to the chats?
Just say what you said 5 minutes ago.
I said I think the announcement is imminent, and then RK said, "You mean while we're on the show?" And I said, "No, probably like Monday or Tuesday."
Okay, so there you go. No
and then
questions
I
today.
said ... or even after Super Bowl.
No DC questions today. Thank you.
So we have no news.
No, there's no
Oh,
no update on DC right now, but it's coming. It's coming. We're closer than we were last show.
Tell us how you became a professor at the University of Colorado.
You know, interesting. Back this past year, you know, because now we've been here a calendar year, so you've gone through a spring, summer, and a fall. What most schools call the mass comm department reached out to Coach Prime and wanted him to do a series of classes, and got roped in with that, man. And I was honored for Coach Prime to say, "Hey, I want you to be Professor Neely with me, and Bucky as well." So we had a great time last night. It was, I thought it was going to be one of these like big lecture halls where you really didn't get to interact, but it was a true class setting, probably about 35 students. Interaction off the charts, man. Coach Prime spoke, I spoke, Bucky spoke, then we took questions and, let everybody know how we did this, how we manage it, how we run it. Great questions from the students in the class.
So, Professor, what was on the
Syllabus.
what's on the docket?
It was about the power of leadership augmented with social media and how you can promote your brand, manage your brand, tell your own story. And Coach Prime did a beautiful job talking to the students after the professor set it up about how when he played, you guys remember when he threw the bucket of water on Tim McCarver?
When he did what?
He threw the bucket of water.
Yeah.
Well, in that era, that was the only way you could respond. You didn't have Twitter. You didn't have Facebook. You couldn't call your own press conference and really expect people to show. I think his soccer team just did something downstairs.
I wish.
And so we were talking about how things have evolved in sports where athletes can now control their own stories and how you can manage your own brand and how you can have your own identity and not depend on quote-unquote mainstream media to tell your story for you. You can respond yourself.
That's awesome.
Brand management.
How often are you going to be at the class?
They did tell me that they wanted me back and all of us to come back again. I think it's going to be probably monthly in the spring semester.
Okay.
I think that's the plan.
All right. You got my number.
Oh man, no, look, no, really. When the professor said I need to get your schedule for you to come back and just touch on, I mean, DMVR is coming with me.
Let's go.
Because we need to talk about how this evolved.
Yeah. I mean, even if I just came to watch.
Yeah.
And some of speaking of that, some of the trainers who came with us from Jackson State came to quote unquote watch and they loved it as well. So good stuff, man.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to show up as a student and just terrorize your class.
I would love it. I love a heckler.
Oh yeah. We'll organize a book drop.
Brings the best out of me.
Exactly.
We used to do synchronized book drops.
Yeah. 2:15.
Yeah.
Everyone slide a book.
Did y'all
up.
ever do the hum?
No, what's that?
All right, so here's what we would do.
Oh my.
And when the teacher got close to you, you stopped and somebody else picks it up. And so she's like, who's doing this? Stop that noise. And you're like, but it's not me, because now Jake is doing it. And then when Jake has to say it's not him, now you're doing it. So there's a constant.
Wow, that's
Hey,
terrible.
I was in class yesterday. Good. Hey, man, appreciate that.
We would do we would make a beat. So like I would go like with like my pencil though.
Yeah,
and then someone else would be like and everyone would start adding like ting, 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 ting,
Learning.
ting.
Do you guys have a senior prank?
No, we just pranked every day.
We did.
That's not surprising for you.
Just pranked every day.
Did you?
No,
Dang.
Did you have a senior year?
I did. Yes.
Just
What kind of question is
Just I
that?
don't know, man. Maybe that's why you didn't have a senior prank. You didn't get there.
I had 2 senior years in college. That was awesome.
Oh, that was the best.
Yep.
Yeah, mine was by design.
The same.
No way I was going to college 4 years.
Whenever like one of Allie's little brothers, friends, or something talks about, yeah, I am gonna stay in and take a 5th year, they're like kind of bummed about it. I'm like, bro, my only regret about taking a 5th year is that I didn't take a 6th.
Amen. So my freshman year at Jackson State,
Stay as long as you can.
I say I want to major in marketing. They print out like the syllabus. This is what you got to take these semesters. So it's like a fall semester is 19 hours. And I'm like, well, that's not going to work. And he's like, what do you mean? I said, we travel every year. We're going to Southern that year. Like, I'm not going to class on a Friday when I can be in Baton Rouge for the Jackson State Southern game. Oh, well, it's going to make you stay 2 more semesters because it's only offered once a year deal.
What does socking
Priorities.
desks
Yep.
mean?
What?
Someone said they used to sock desks simultaneously in class.
Sock? Yeah.
We used to have kids that would burrito backpacks, though. Do you know what that is?
No.
What is
What are these words?
So
what is burrito in a backpack?
I'll tell you what happens. It's like when you're in a lecture and you're just not paying attention, someone would sneak in, grab your backpack, take all your stuff out, flip it inside out, and then put your stuff back in, zip it up. So you had to you couldn't use
So
the
the
straps.
zipper's on the inside,
Yeah,
like-
and you had to,
Why was it called a burrito?
I don't know, flip it in inside out, I guess. That's just what we called it.
Are burritos inside?
That's what we did in high school. Just socking desks. That reminded me of that. I don't
Socking
know.
desks.
I don't know what that is.
So Eric said we're already bullying Jake. That's why you're here, Eric.
I mean, it's nothing different.
I don't even know how we
nothing
bullied him
different.
already.
I don't either.
All right, let's talk about the Buffs.
Let's do it. That's why we're here.
Well, we'll start with this before we get to the headline.
Mm-hmm.
What's this week been like for you in the Champion Center?
Man, look, this team is unbelievable already. Now you have something to compare to. Whether it was last year's strength and conditioning, the pre-testing the numbers. These guys are off the chart stronger already than where we started a year ago. The attitude in the building, the new guys. So let's go back to last year. You had a group of people who were here and who were likely leaving at the end of the spring. And then you had some transfers that came in that Coach Prime recruited, and you had the quote-unquote Louis luggage he brought with him. Mm-hmm. And in the building, you could tell who was who just by how they navigated, their confidence, You can't tell the new Louis, the new recruits from the old Louis. Like, they have meshed right in. And one of the things I'm loving the most, guys, is some of the older guys or the new Louis guys are not taking any crap off the slackers from some of the lazy guys. And it's like when they're doing drills, like they self-police. They are policing each other. It probably took us 4 months last year to have some pushing and shoving, and you've already had that now.
Yeah.
Because hey, man, we don't have time to play. Do the drill right or get out of here. It's that kind of vibe in the building.
We were actually, I think, talking about that yesterday with Arden, and I was just saying, that is so powerful. Mm-hmm. Everyone's been yelled at by a coach a million times. Not everyone's been yelled at by a teammate.
Yeah.
And when you do have one of your peers saying, hey, you're not doing right, and it's hurting the rest of us, that actually hurts you to hear. And that makes you make changes because you don't want to be looked at by your teammates as someone who's letting them down.
No, absolutely. Like you've had JB linebacker, you've had Travis Hunter corner/receiver, like about to put hands on people because they weren't doing it right.
Yeah.
Like this is unacceptable. Like do it right, man, or you have no place on this team kind of vibe. And when you look at the dynamic a year ago, RK and Jake, a lot of times you didn't have that kind of self-policing. It's because the guys didn't want to be policed themselves. Like, if I'm not doing it up to standard, who am I to tell you to tighten up?
Right.
So you had just a swath of guys, nobody's really giving it their all. But now, man, the buy-in is not only off the charts, it's contagious.
Right. It's like no one tell the teacher that she hasn't told us to turn the homework in yet because none of us did the homework.
Yeah. Hey, sounds like, we went to school together.
Exactly.
And the work that the offensive line is doing together, conditioning-wise after practice, whether it's because, like I'm saying, something wasn't going right or they just getting some extra reps, that kind of thing, It's just a different energy and vibe from a year ago.
We talked a lot last year about how championship teams are player-led teams, but I think we all. I don't know if maybe all of us did, but I think at least some of us underestimated how long it takes to get to that championship level, though.
Yes.
Like, it's hard to do it in 1 year, but now you can see, like you mentioned, just how everyone's been able to come together so much quicker, so much closer this year. Just already having that foundation of a year under them has already helped them so much.
And everyone's talking about it, too. Everyone we talk to mentions it. I mean, we talked about it a couple weeks ago, and you said it's funny you say that because that's Coach Prime, one of Coach Prime's big emphasis this year. We talked to Arden yesterday, and we were talking to him about not having a DC, and he was like, "It's not about that right now. Right now, it's about bonding and coming together and becoming a team." And anyone you talk to around the program, that's one of the first things they mention is this team is a lot more together.
And when you look at what I'll just use an example. When the Marines are there working them out, what the hell does the DC have to do with that?
Nothing.
Like, when we're carrying this log together and squatting and synchronized and running together and carrying these weights together, what does the OC, DC, D-line, or even head coach have to do with that? Like, we're the phase of the season where that stuff has no impact on it. And the team is really trying to come together as a team. They're self-policing, man. They're challenging each other. It is just a totally different vibe than where it was this time a year ago.
Yep.
How's Shador been? Is he fully working out and stuff right now?
Oh, yeah, he is. You don't see any hitching to giddy up. He's not taking anything off. You don't see him grab his back. He's leading the way in the drills as far as, his weight class and that kind of thing. He's out there fully locked in. So I don't think there are any issues, or at least visible to performance. I think he's healed and ready to go.
What are those military workouts like from your perspective?
Insane. Yeah, like just in a word, insane is like, come on, man. Like this is all right.
Because I feel like the players, they'll admit it's tough, but they don't want to say that. They're like, oh yeah. I mean, it's you're just working out in the end.
It's tough. It's competitive, but no one wants to quit either.
Right.
Like, you don't want to be that guy. So it's bringing more and more out of them. One thing I do think they prefer about those days is it's over quicker. It is so damn intense. Like, you're just hitting it hard for 30, 45 minutes versus a regular strength and conditioning, maybe an hour and a half or so. So, but yeah, it's the stations are insane, man, the things they do, and that it has to be done right and with each other. And so you got to hold people accountable. You can't just do it and go to the next thing.
Do you know where the inspiration came from to start doing those?
Coach Mo, strength and conditioning coach. He calls it, I think, chaos. That he has on the calendar some chaos days where I'm going to throw everything at you. This is not going to be about football. This is not going to like it. This is going to be challenging.
Right.
This is going to grind your mind and challenge you to be able to perform detailed things while fatigued. Because, when you get tired, your mind goes. So how do we get a guy to not jump off sides when he's tired in October? You carry that log, in February.
Right. And there's also something to be said about mixing it up in terms of the way you're training.
Absolutely.
If you go in and you do the same lifts every day, your body starts to get used to it.
Yeah, you plateau.
Exactly.
What they call it. Yep.
It's kind of like what you were saying, Jake, the other day about deodorant.
Bro.
Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Yeah, you can't just do that. What, Jake, your deodorant plateaus?
So when your deodorant, if you've been using the same one for a long time, it gets used to your body.
Okay.
So then it doesn't work as well
Deodorant?
anymore.
I had it's not
No?
organic. No, deodorant does no.
It doesn't evolve.
No, yes, it's
not deodorant evolving. It's your body getting used to it.
Yeah.
so you're telling
saying
me your must wants to beat the deodorant.
That's what they're saying, dude.
No.
That's what they're saying.
Man, I don't know the science behind it. All I know is I was told that if you use the same deodorant over and over and over again, eventually it becomes less effective.
That's like roach spray on roaches. Your body odor.
The roach doesn't come back to life after you use it on them, though.
It's legit, kid.
This was the whole thing in the office because I'm a one thing guy. Like, I got one deodorant, one body wash. I stick with it, and Jake and then Adam, who works here, was like, I have 14 different body washes all in my shower.
No, that's all Adam. That's all.
You got to confuse the funk,
he literally showed me a picture from in his shower. He's like, I got Irish Spring, I got Old Spice, Axe. I was like, this is crazy, man. I literally have one.
No, there's no science behind that. Like, your funk does not evolve, and neither does deodorant.
I agree with you, Jake.
Thank you, Alyssa. I'm Googling this right now. By the way.
Yeah, I was going to say, we need the rest of the peanut gallery to chime in what they think.
It's just, no. Hey, I got my good friend, Terrence Harris, the king of trucking. He's been a long time supporter of the pregame show, sponsoring that kind of thing. I bet he's on our side, RK. What do you think, Attorney Harris? Does deodorant evolve?
No.
Well, I use 2 different deodorants.
Yeah, see?
But that's not because of evolution.
But because one, when I wear white shirts.
So it's not funk related. It's fabric related.
Nah, you gotta check the chat
A lot of
here.
people are with Jake.
Yeah.
A lot of people are weird.
I would just say, like, you would notice, right? If all of a sudden your deodorant wasn't working.
Yeah, you start sweating a lot more.
Yeah, that hasn't happened to me.
Yeah. No. Can't say that I haven't. My body hasn't beat my deodorant yet. Deodorant is 100.
You guys are insane.
Okay. I'm insane.
Last time you were on the show, you said you were going to sing the Empire Today jingle, so now's your opportunity. Go ahead.
All right, but what is the jingle?
I don't know.
Like, you got to give me the number. Like, it's,
800-588-2300.
It's 800-588-EMPIRE.
2300 Empire. 800-588-2300 Empire.
I'm not going to remember that. I will tell you this. You can get $350 off. I'll tell you that.
I'll take it from here. Okay.
Empire is where you
Okay.
want to go. Look, hey, which camera you want, man, Alyssa? Where you want me? Ladies, is your carpet giving you problems?
Oh my God.
There's
Get
a
it off
solution.
it. Go to Jake.
I told.
I was talking about the apartment carpet. Like, you could call Empire.
Holy cow.
You know, Jake, you don't want me to do the ads, man. I can't do it.
Empire Today is the best place to get new flooring. You can't beat them on quality, service, or speed. You can shop the convenience of your own home
I was going to say all that.
and check out a variety of different flooring options to
was gonna
suit
talk
your
about the
needs and desires. Use their virtual floor designer. It's super easy. Schedule a free in-home estimate today. And as Unk so, I don't know, just so eloquently put it, you can receive a $350 off discount when you use the promo code DNVR. Restrictions apply. See empiretoday.com/DNVR for details.
Absolutely. You do not have to keep that current carpet.
Circle K.
Circle K. If you need to buy a different deodorant every week because you're afraid of the effectiveness dropping off, they actually have that at Circle K. You can get anything at Circle
You
K.
really can.
Including snacks. We have some new people in the building here. What's your favorite road trip snack?
Ooh, we got
Peach
some of
rings.
those
We
right
have
there.
peach rings. Peach rings are a great choice. I think Arden yesterday slipped in the gummy sharks at the end.
Oh, okay.
Underrated. Anyways, shout out to our friends over at Circle K. Join the Inner Circle Rewards program by scanning the QR code on the screen and get the best possible deals on gas and snacks from our friends at Circle K.
Absolutely. There's nothing like
And
pulling up
deodorant.
to Circle K, man.
So you guys just been using the same kind of deodorant for like 5 years or more?
Yeah.
No, it's longer than that, man. Like, I walk in and grab the Grief Shower Fresh. And it works for
lifetime.
me. It works for me.
Yep.
You guys just need to Google this. I'm done with it.
All right, so, you're right. Alexis says the peach rings are fire.
Of course they
Hey,
are.
shout out, a couple quick shout outs. One, this is the first Friday of Black History Month.
Yep.
I'm not only rocking my Muhammad Ali shirt, rest in peace to Carl Weathers, a.k.a.
Yeah.
Apollo Creed from the Rocky movies, man.
Yep.
Yeah, I was right before we went on, some friend texted me that.
Damn.
Apollo Creed, man. The guns on
R.I.P.
that guy.
R.I.p.
All right, let's pay off this headline.
Let's do it.
You
You want me to do it?
No.
Okay.
If you haven't been
We should
watching-
really let the advertisers pick which one of us they want. Just an idea I'm tossing out. I'm just saying.
We can float that.
Yeah.
What was it?
He wants the advertisers to pick who reads the reads.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, Empire might want my version.
That's true. That's true.
We never know.
Okay, Sevel Smalls has changed positions.
He is.
There's been a lot of questions about this since he started or showed up back to Boulder in the white tee, the offensive tees.
Yeah.
Today he made it official. Said he's switching over to tight ends. Obviously, I don't know why it didn't work out for him on the edge for whatever reason. I know he went through some injuries last year and some injuries at Washington, but a 5-star player, played both ways in high school. He's an incredible athlete.
Absolutely.
He's massive. What do you guys think about it?
I think it's everything that you said. That when you got a guy that can do both, and you have some people that are augmenting one side of what he can do, and you got a need at the other. We need more production out of the tight end room, whether it is in the blocking scheme or in the route running. We had a walk-on wide receiver last year in Mikey Harrison who did some phenomenal things. Smaller body, smaller frame, so he really wasn't a blocking tight end. And when you looked at the deficiency we had at offensive line, having a tight end that was not known or capable of blocking only made that worse. And so now you got a body there that I'm sure Coach Brett Bartolone, who's the new guy in the tight end room and believes in physicality and attacking and blocking receivers, I think you're going to see some impressive things out of this quote-unquote position switch.
Yeah, I mean, this can really only be a good thing in my opinion. The edge room became very crowded over this offseason. We talked, obviously to Arden yesterday, and he came on late in the season, I thought really well. He's in the mix. Okunlola's in the mix. Wiggins in the mix. I mean, they've just added to that group. And Sevel was already a little bit behind the 8 ball last year in that group. And so that's not to say that maybe there wasn't a chance that he had a big breakthrough here, but I think it's best for both sides of this that he goes to get a much better opportunity to see the field and put his talent on display. I mean, we put out some of his high school highlights at tight end on the DNVR Buffs Twitter account. Like, go watch that, man. He is physical. He's fast. He's athletic. He can run. He can jump. He can block. He hasn't been able to put that on display on a college football field quite yet.
Absolutely.
And now I think he has a real chance to get out there and play.
And he's being coached by a guy who believes in all that. Brett Bartolone play receiver, and his coming out of the slot, he knows about the routes, that come off the line of scrimmage, so to speak, and he knows about pass protection from that spot as well. And he is a coach that is going to make sure you're crisp and clean and also physical, because he is the PhD in attacking. That's the sign that's on his desk, and that ain't changing. So I like the switch, man. I think it's going to be more opportunity for him.
Well, and I think it's pretty easy for him too, because he doesn't have to come in and like save the tight end room like Mikey did last year.
Yeah,
We've got
point.
Shimon Mateer. We've got someone who can go out and just be that starting receiving tight end. So he can really find his niche, whether it's receiving, whether it's being in line and helping blocking, whatever it is. I think that he can do that. And I mean, the guy's around 250 pounds. Like,
Yeah.
that's plenty big enough. That's the size of the tight ends they've been recruiting after they got Shimon Mateer. So.
Go ahead.
If
I was advising Sevel Smalls, I would tell him to become the best blocking tight end you can possibly be. That is going to get you so far in life, in football, I should say. Everyone needs a blocking tight end, and if you're athletic on top of it, it's going to that's also going to carry you. But why am I blanking on the tight end that Sean Payton brought over from New Orleans? The other guy.
I can't remember.
Anyways, he was brought into block.
Oh, Manhurts.
Thank you. Yeah, he's brought into block. And if you can essentially be an additional offensive lineman while being a little bit more light, a little bit more agile, teams are going to love that. So you can you'll find your way onto the field quickly by just doing one thing really well.
But in the here and now, or should I say in the last year, if Shedeur had a blocking tight end last year, man, about a third of those sacks go away.
Yeah, I mean, you're certainly running the ball better. You're getting better chips on the edge.
Yeah, so I like it. And to Shelly out there, great point. That was James Houston. James Houston transferred from the University of Florida to Jackson State. He was linebacker, and Coach Prime said, no, man, you should switch positions. James fought it for a couple of weeks and embraced it, and next thing you know, he's in the Detroit Lions and leading the team in sacks.
Yeah.
So sometimes these position switches work when you have coaches who know what it's supposed to look like, see your body, see your skill set, know how it can work right now, but also more importantly, advantageous for your future on Sundays.
And it's a great time for him to do this because with a player that talented and gifted, the last thing you want to do is just keep having him do, on the sidelines.
Right. Yeah.
And I talked about this before, but I'll mention it one more time. There's a guy named Nick Casa who came to see you, who was a high 4-star recruit. Went to Florida, didn't work for him at Edge there. Came to Colorado, didn't work for him at Edge there either. But it wasn't until his final season that they said, "Oh, let's see if he can give it a shot at tight end." He actually popped off. Had one of the better seasons in a while for CU at tight end, and ended up going to the NFL and playing a little tight end. Got a Super Bowl ring with the Broncos.
There it is.
The way I see this move, it's all upside, honestly.
All upside.
I mean, he was doing nothing at edge, and now you have a potential for him to be tight end too, if not a massive breakout and become kind of just a star at tight end, kind of like Mikey did last year out of nowhere.
Yep.
So, and then just to Unk's point about Coach Bartoloni, I mean, I think we talked about, or we were asked about why he was moved from wide receivers to tight ends, and I told the chat, it's like, I think that's a sign of a great coach. When you're asked to do more than what you're not being pigeonholed into a niche. Like, you're not just going to be a wide receivers coach for 15 years. I feel like that's how you kind of get stuck in that industry. But if you move around and coach different positions and figure out, what it really takes to win at each position, that's the sign of a great coach. He's going to be coaching or be learning under a great coach. We saw what he did with the receiver room last year. So,
yeah, absolutely. And, and to that point, when you talk about not just how coaches switch positions in their career paths, it's also a testament to what Coach Prime knows that Coach Brett can do. You bring in Jason Phillips to now coach receivers, and you move that bright, on the move up the coaching ladder guy and Coach Brett, because you know what he can do to turn individual players around within this current system. So it's almost like we're saying with Smalls, or when Travis goes back and forth, like Brett can do both of these things. He can coach anybody that catches the ball. He can even be an offense coordinator. He was that at Jackson State.
Yep.
So it's not a slight when a position room changes.
No, and to Jake's point, just pick a random head coach and go look at their Wikipedia and all the places that they've coached.
Yeah.
It's rarely just like wide receivers, head coach.
Yeah.
Like you're going to see all that stuff. Mm-hmm. I mean, even Coach Prime.
Oh, yeah.
Offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. He's done it all.
The schedule came out on Wednesday. Unk, did anything stand out to you?
I love the 2 bye weeks.
Every team in the FBS gets that this year and next year.
I love the 2 bye weeks. So that jumped out to me. I also like the rhythm. I'm not talking about distance. I mean just home or away, regardless of the distance travel. I like the rhythm of the home and away.
Me too.
I think this past season the rhythm got off somewhere. We have a game at home, and then now you're gone. It feels like when you come back, like, damn, I ain't been here forever.
Yeah.
This schedule has a good home and away rhythm to it. I like the position of the bye weeks. I like the schedule. If there was anything, I'm just pulling some out there I didn't like. The 2 games that we closed the season out back-to-back, I wish they had some space between them.
Yeah, those are tough ones.
Yeah.
But it's a short week.
Yeah. Yeah, short week with some programs. So hopefully we're getting to that point of the season and we're injury-free and we're experienced up and we're playing our best ball, versus having somebody out with injury late in the season. But that would be my only, I wish that was different. But otherwise, I like the schedule. I like the flow of it.
Yep. And there's totally a world where you go into those last 2 games in a race for the Big 12 championship game with
just
those
talking to the 2 terraces in the car about that.
With those teams, and maybe you're down a game going into you, and now you're relishing the fact that at the end of the season you're getting a chance to go chase these teams. Even better would be if you got a lead on them and you're trying to hold them off. But
I think I'm a smart guy, but I realize how smart I am when we agree. And we didn't discuss it. When I say something like in the car and 30 minutes later you say it in person, like, I'm smart because RK is smart.
Let's go. That makes me feel smart.
Which road trip you looking forward to the most? Nebraska?
Orlando.
Okay.
Well, fan-wise, I'm looking forward to Nebraska because I've never been.
Yep.
And that is the rivalry. And I know my brother RK is going to teach me a lot about, TP in them or stuff in their
Conducting
toilets or
bands?
something. Yeah, conducting bands, all that. So I'm looking forward to that one the most. And it's early in the season. But travel-wise, Competitive wise, I love. Well, Baylor's coming to us, so that's why I'm going to say that one. I love that trip to UCF. Like, we're going across the country, all the way to the Eastern Time Zone, 2-hour difference for us to play. A program that's an up and coming program.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to that UCF game.
Am I crazy for thinking that UCF has the same energy as ASU?
I think that's kind of disrespect to UCF.
Wow. I think that's disrespect to ASU.
Shake out of nowhere. It's just RKO. That's out of nowhere.
I don't know. I feel like they're just different versions of each other.
Nah, UCF can get clowned on, but ASU is just a clown like show top to bottom. So,
Wow.
Yeah, but I'm
Good band, though. Well, at least they were when I conducted it.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Like, you're the visiting band king.
no, look, I mean, UCF is over the last 7 seasons, they've only lost 6 games at home, I think. Mm-hmm. Like, that place
That's
is
impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've lost, 4 of those came under Malzahn the last 3 years, and last year was a down year, but they've recruited really well. Obviously in Florida, so they're going to be stacked with athletes. Like, they're a decent program at this point.
Thank you, Jake, for excellent going into the details. But that was my process when I say that game, because having to go to, and again, it would be different if we were going to Baylor. I would be picking them. But since Baylor's coming to us, I got to go with that UCF trip as far as the road trip. That's like, okay, let's see this. Let's see.
It should be noted that UCF was playing in G5 for most of those years.
But they did go undefeated and made BCS bowls or New Year's Six bowls during that time too.
Yep.
So,
Once.
well, they had some years too.
Okay.
And, there's
They
another.
had a 3-year stretch where they lost 2 games.
He's right again.
Not too long ago.
Yep.
But there's another upside to this trip. Coach Prime will be playing in Florida.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Recruitment.
I cannot wait to see UCF's visitor list for that weekend and go cross-examine
Yes.
who's been offered by
now
Colorado.
you're with me.
That's exactly what I can't wait to do.
Because what about the opening game last year, Horned Frogs,
Oh, yeah. TCU.
when they had all of their recruits there?
They thought they were going to do something.
Yeah, they thought they were going to do something in front of their recruits, and their recruits were trying to, when Coach Prime walked by, take a selfie.
Yeah.
So, yeah, bring your recruits when you play us, because then your recruits become our recruits. Thank you.
You just brought me back such a good memory. Sometimes I forget that that TCU really thought, all of their fans thought they were going to win by 30.
Oh, it was a blowout.
Yeah.
They didn't
Vegas have
respect us
21?
whatsoever.
No, they had
Vegas
no
had
idea.
24.
Yeah.
No,
And I remember walking to the stadium and their fans being like, Psh, 24 is way too low. We hammered that line. We're going to kill you guys. I was just made it even that much
didn't
sweeter.
happen.
they were on a high horse after getting blown out by 60 in a national title game. So,
Yeah.
And
they had Darius with maybe the most legendary video of the year.
Oh,
of the
yeah.
kid.
oh my God.
yeah, instant
Throw it
reaction.
at Hunter.
Overrated. Yeah, see what happened there. But I do think also, now speaking of Hunter, and speaking of coaches and even coaches' wives, there's going to be a certain buzz to that Colorado State trip too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's going to be a certain buzz to that one.
That is
So,
a business trip.
yeah. Yeah, there's going to be, and naturally I haven't been there either. That's the little brother rival, as y'all have taught me.
You ain't missing much.
So we get to go there and to Nebraska back to back.
We should dress in suits to go to that one, Jake.
All black
Business trip.
for their funeral.
Business trip.
Briefcases on the pregame show.
Oh, I'd love it. We can workshop it. Home game that you're looking forward to the most. Do you know who we play?
I'm gonna switch that. Now I'm gonna go with I would have went with if they were on the road. I'm gonna go with that Baylor game, September 21st.
Why Baylor?
History of the program. They've produced the Heisman Trophy in RG3. Just all the buzz that can go with it. Right now, no one has played a game, but to me, when I look at the schedule, that looks like something College game day would come to. Because they're either gonna meet us in Nebraska. They're not coming to North Dakota State. They're not coming to the first one.
First game back in the Big 12.
Yep.
So I like it, man. I like that Baylor one. It sets the tone for me with that September schedule before you get to that first bye.
Yeah. I think I want to do a segment this year on the pregame show, why we hate insert this team.
He'd be great at that.
But Baylor, there's a good one. There's a really good reason to hate Baylor. I mean, aside from the fact of their total what word am I looking for? Dysfunction of their
Yes.
program and inability to control it, but CU fans specifically. So
Okay.
I'm not going to give it away yet.
It's fair enough.
I like that.
What happened?
Something soccer happened. Go. Something soccer related happened.
Are we winning? Did we just tie
1-0.
it?
1-0.
1-0.
Yeah. Yeah, oh, that's a lot for 1-0.
All right.
Soccer.
Shout out to our friends over at Infinity Park and the American Raptors. The American Raptors are Colorado's only professional rugby team. They're set to return in action on February 16th at Infinity Park. They kick off their 2024 Super Rugby Americas campaign in Argentina. You can stream all their games on ESPN+. Also, if you're a big rugby fan, check out the weekly DMVR Rugby podcast. Our guy Colton Strickler has you covered all things rugby there. But hit up Infinity Park. It's a really cool place. Catch a game there. And
$10 to go.
Yep.
Can't beat that.
Witness all the fast-paced, hard-hitting rugby action live at Infinity Park in Glendale when the Raptors embark on a 6-game homestand starting on Sunday, March 17th. As RK said, tickets are only $10. Bring your friends and family to Infinity Park. Spend your Sundays at Rugbytown, USA. Visit AmericanRaptors.com for more information on the team and how to purchase your tickets now.
Also, shout out to Fubo TV, the #1 way to watch the Avs and Nuggets, and a lot of times Buffs basketball. Thankfully, we won't have to deal with the Pac-12 network after this basketball season, but we still do. And we also still have to deal with the silly dispute between Altitude and the cable companies. But that's been fixed by our friends Fubo TV. So go to FuboTV.com/DNVR to get a discount and get in on the best streaming service.
An advanced shout out to the carpenter, handyman person that's going to redesign some desks so Jake and I don't have to reach back for drinks. RK gets to just do this. Jake and I have to do this.
Yeah.
So there's somebody out there who can get Uncle Neely and Jake right about right there.
As Travis
Thank
Kelce
you.
once famously said, podcasting is the hardest job in the world.
It really is. Breaking a sweat over here.
It's killing me.
Look at that turn, man.
Yeah,
How
oh
do you
man,
do
this
it?
look the obliques. You see that work there? Woo! I take a day off.
What do you guys want to talk about?
That's what we're going with?
I mean, I hit everything that I wanted to ask.
Give us something that you've seen this week or someone that you talked to that was interesting.
Well, that's a good question. Had a great conversation with Herman. You know, the
Yep.
new guy by way of Jackson State here. He's, loving the vibe. Some great content dropping tomorrow with Coach Riz Press, the new recruiting coordinator for high schools. So
There you go.
did a sit down with him. He's certified dog catcher. There's some good things going on in the building. This is also that week where it's a little quiet from a coach perspective because they were out doing that last, touching up for recruiting with signing day officially being next week. So yeah, it's I'm loving, man, the overall just energy a year later.
Totally.
When we would go on the road to Oregon or Utah, and I'm talking about from a support staff, internal operations, organizational kind of things, you could just see how ahead they were of us. Now, a year later after Prime, you can really see that a program is being built, that all the things are clicking, on the same cylinder. There's no, well, I need to do this, I need to do that. This didn't happen. It's becoming an organization. And that's how those teams win year after year after year. They build programs. And Coach Prime has really been doing some due diligence the past 11 months outside of just coaching football to make sure the internal stuff is working at a championship level. And I think the needle moved big time from 12 months ago.
Have any of the new players stood out to you just in any of the work they've done or just speaking to them in particular?
Yeah, Chi, man.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, he's strong. And let me tell y'all this. Thank you, because that just reminded me what I could have said when you asked that. Jordan Seaton is as advertised and then some.
Yeah.
I have never seen a guy that size, that fast, that fluid. I mean, he has fast muscle twitch and change of direction twitch like a skill player.
It's crazy.
I sit there and watch him, do the drills, and I'm like, man, he could be over there with the DBs. Like, how did he reach down and touch that line and change direction that fast at that size? He's a big boy, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's what Andre said when we had him on kind of the first time we dove into the film with Jordan Seaton, and he said, like, you can count, which was when he was in high school, he said you can count on one hand how many guys are in college football right now that have that combination of athleticism and strength.
And man, I heard all of that kind of stuff, but I didn't see it until I saw it.
Yep.
It's kind of like I'm probably dating myself here, but you can watch Allen Iverson highlights, but when you go and sit and watch him, the speed that he was on the court, it's like, okay, it's not fair.
Yep.
And it's like that with Jordan, and then you put his size in. Like, how is this an offensive lineman moving that fast and still that strong? Normally when you get super strong, you give up speed or something. But he is like Madden 99s in each category.
Damn.
That's amazing.
Let's go.
I think it was also, one of those things that when he was going through his recruitment, I think his maturity was called into question. Because he committed to one school, then decommitted, then he committed, then people there's rumors that he was leaving, and whenever something like that happens, people start saying, he's immature or whatever. I have even been impressed with how mature he seems through the videos that we've seen, the way he's carried himself, even when he hops on the spaces, like he already kind of knows he's saying all the right things. It's really cool to see.
And I think some people who don't get to know him and just watch clips over years high school, he has such a sense of humor and walks around with a smile, like, kind of big kid, so to speak. And it could be mistaken as immaturity because, you're like, oh, man, he's playing. Like, no, he's 12. Like what do you expect? But he has personality off the charts. He'll walk in the room, and if he doesn't know somebody, he walks over and introduces himself.
Yep.
Whether that's player, staff, support staff, whatever. Like he doesn't meet a stranger in the building. Like he has been here before.
I wrote a film room last night on LeJontay Wester. Have you been able to meet him and just?
Not in depth.
No. That guy is.
Let's talk about it. Your
That's why I lean back. Like, give me
I came away so impressed after watching him, bro. Like, go ahead.
Not to interrupt, but I guess I am interrupting. When people ask me, like, who's your favorite transfers that have come in, I always mention his name. And I feel like people, like, roll their eyes because they're like, oh, another receiver.
I know, yeah.
And it's like, just watch.
Well, especially with, like, he's a smaller guy. He's like 5'11", 170 is what he was listed at last year. I mean, he'll probably put on some weight this offseason for sure, but there are guys who are just natural football players who just know how to make people miss. In a phone booth or with speed or just setting up blocks, he's got all that. That's why he was first team All-American punt returner last year.
Jake with the facts.
That dude gets the ball in his hands, and it's like his instincts just take over. Like, he just knows how to get around people, find those creases. He's a home run hitter. He's tough as hell, too. Guy played in all 12 games the last 3 seasons. For someone that small, had 108 receptions last year, you got to be tough.
And so you're nailing it with all of that, but that final point, a lot of people like to look at the way Coach Prime manages his team is like it's, again, how we talked about Daddy Ball when I first met you guys and had to explain to the new fans out there that ain't Daddy Ball, Shedeur is that dude. Well, now that you've had a year seeing that Shedeur is that dude, when you got a Tom Brady, I'm going back literally New England, You don't go get a rookie in the draft. You bring in a Randy Moss because you can't give Tom Brady that guy. He needs a guy that's here. And you have this generational talent at quarterback in Shedeur, and so you're bringing in receivers who are tough as hell and play 12 games, because that's what he needs because he doesn't have time to train somebody up right out of high school. Like, okay, here's my starting receiver. I've now played college ball 3 seasons, and this is his first one. You're asking for a disaster, disaster in the huddle, practice, etc. So our receiver core, man, with their experience, same thing with the new O-line, their experience, same thing with the new edges and even the guys on D-line, their experience. This is just far and beyond a totally different team from last year.
Yeah, and I think that one of the things, if I were to guess that Coach Prime or Shedeur or whoever is talking to the scouting staff about what they were looking for in wide receivers this year, one of the things is instinct. And I think it's an entirely underrated skill in a wide receiver that never gets talked about. We talk about speed, route running, hands. Instinct is so important because Shedeur is going to look out there and know exactly what the defense is trying to do. And so if the play calls for a 10-yard comeback, well, Shedeur might be looking and say, well, there's going to be a hook zone at 10. I need you to stop at 8. But he doesn't have time to run over and say, hey, cut it off to 8.
Yeah.
There has to be that instinct that the wide receiver has, and it's what Zay was so good at last year, why he ended up racking up so many yards and catches. Both Wester and Will Shepard, I think, are very, very proficient in that category, and they're only going to get better working with Shedeur.
Well, and the thing with both of them, too, is they didn't really play with great quarterbacks.
Yeah.
They're both playing with
Great
the best
point.
quarterback they've ever played with in their career at this point.
Great points.
That
points.
what I just talked about is why Mahomes and Kelsey are what they are.
Right.
There's times where they don't even call a route for Kelsey.
Yeah.
The
No.
route is just go to the green grass.
Yeah, exactly. Find the space.
Yep.
And,
And he
I'll
knows-
find you if I have to.
Right. And Mahomes knows where it's going to be, and he trusts Kelsey to know where it's going
Because
to be.
anyone, including the five of us, the terraces over there, any one of us could run a play when it works. Like, what do you do when the play breaks down? What are the receivers and the tight ends doing when what was called is not actually what's happening? Where do I come back to? Where do I roll to? And having guys with experience, man, and like you said, that instinct to do it, man, Shadeur's going to light Big 12 up.
Yep.
I don't see how this guy isn't on the field, like, immediately, honestly. I really
Tell me
don't.
more about kind of what you learned just watching him.
I mean,
Without getting into it, obviously, go read Jake's article on the website.
Yeah, go to thedmvr.com. It's on the front page right now. He's just a weapon, man. I mean, FIU did a great job of, like, manufacturing him touches. They put him in the backfield. They do pop passes, lots of, like, tunnel screens outside and stuff like that to just get him in space. He can work the intermediate level of the field. Like, he'll take hits, go up and over the top of defensive backs if he has to. I know it's kind of rare, I guess, when you're 5'11", 170, but he can get up there, too.
Yep.
And speed. He's a deep threat too. He may not be the fastest guy on this team when he shows up, or he's already here, I guess. But he's going to give them another element of speed wherever he lines up on the field.
I like Jake, but I love film room Jake.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Me too.
He's in his element. He's in his bag when he's in the film room.
I mean, he's just. You can use him in a variety of ways. You can manufacture touches for him. You can have him just work out of the slot.
Yep.
So, and again, he's just a grad transfer. Like, these guys don't come here to sit on the bench.
This,
I also go ahead.
I was just going to say that this Marine workout stuff has been cool. Getting to see these guys know each other has been cool. I am so looking forward to April when they start fighting for time and reps and who's going to be the lead dog in these crowded rooms. Because the one thing that we have now, room by room by room by room by room, especially offensive line, that we didn't have last year, we got not only depth, but we got talent.
Yeah.
And everybody can't play at the same time.
Yep.
And so only the dogs are going to play. And I can't wait till we get to that phase of who really wants to play.
I think one of the reasons why you see LeJohntay make tough contested catches and things of that nature, he might be short in stature in terms of when you measure him. He kind of has a lengthy wingspan, longer legs than you would expect. And I think it allows him to just have a larger catch radius than you would necessarily expect when you see him listed on the depth chart.
Well said. It's the same thing with Jimmy Horn Jr.'s speed and leaping ability.
Yeah.
Like, he can create space with that speed, and by the time he jumps in the air, he ain't 5'8" or whatever he's listed at, you know.
Yeah.
The guy can dunk.
Yeah. 40-inch vertical.
Yeah, so that catch radius that he is, his speed to get lateral to the ball or go up and get it makes him a totally different guy than what his measurements say.
Yep.
Yeah, go to thedmvr.com, check it out. There's tons of clips and stuff in there.
Film room Jake never misses.
Thank you, man.
No, thank you for your work in the film room.
No problem. Let's get to questions.
Yes, sir.
Let's get to questions.
We got some super chats to get to.
Super chat.
Eukaria?
Yeah.
Or Yukari Adams?
That's close enough.
Do you know when single game tickets go on sale specifically for the UCF game? I need the best seats in the house.
That's all just based on their school.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
we
You'll
don't
hear
know.
that from UCF.
Yep.
Yeah, away games are run by them.
By the way, it is February 2nd. Got 5 days to renew your season tickets. would not recommend not doing that.
Yeah,
Get on it.
Yeah, I think there are going to be a lot of sellouts this year. Like, as in all of them.
Oh, I don't. Well, maybe Arrowhead. We'll see what happens there, but
Yeah, it's going to be hard to sell that one out.
it'd be impressive if they did.
Yeah, it would be impressive,
If a
but
fan
that's-
base can do it, it'd be this one. KM says, Uncle Neely, will the class be offered online or only in person?
Only in person, but a couple of days to a week after the class. Most of it will be posted like on Well Off, the pregame show, or Reach the People. Because we recorded a lot of it last night. And some of it was you'll never see because Prime was going into Prime mode, but the students enjoyed it.
Jake, you look like you just saw a ghost behind you.
Well, I just saw a cop walking around the street back there, so I
Cop
was
scared
wondering
you?
what the hell was going
damn,
on.
Are they looking for you again?
I told you Jake was black.
Jesus.
What were we just talking about?
The class in online or in person?
Oh, I don't know how these guys do the online classes.
I could only do like one or two.
I
per
took
semester.
one and failed miserably.
Yeah.
I think I got like a 6%.
Yeah. Dylan Edwards, I told you last time I was here, he had his first in-person class. Speaking of Dylan, y'all know he's running track as well, man.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that.
Yeah, he's and so that kind of came out to the class last night. A student asked Coach Prime, like, what other things does he help out with around here, or does he have a role in supporting other athletics? And he talked about how, they go to the soccer games and, of course, women's basketball and men's basketball. But he said, hey, man, just the other week, I was talking to the track coach, and I said, man, I got fast guys on this team. Call them. Like I don't mind if they run track for you and play for me.
Yeah.
And so Dylan Edwards is on the track team.
And I mean, the job of the track coach is just to make you faster.
Yeah.
You know
So
what I mean?
how does that hurt us?
Yeah, exactly. That you can learn some techniques. If Dylan Edwards can get any faster than he already is, that is a scary thought.
Yeah.
OMG.
5280 Ivan says, which newcomer has impressed you the most so far, Unc?
I got to go with Seaton. Just pound for pound overall, I got to go with Jordan Seaton. But she has been very impressive as well in the weight room and his personality and demeanor. But if I got to pick one, Jordan Seaton, who was touted to be the most impressive coming in, I think is undersold. He blows what they said about him out of the water. He's way beyond that.
Yep.
Anthony Steele asks, is Cormani still growing? I swear he looks taller.
I think he is. I think he has gotten taller. Got a couple new tattoos as well. He's still in the tattoo game. But you could tell he's no longer a fresh freshman. He's growing up as well. So he's not only growing in his body and strength, but he's growing in his role in the football team.
Was one of 2 football student athletes of the week last week too.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
huge, man.
Yeah, he's growing, man. He was. There was a moment there, man. This thing could have gone either way. You and I, the three of us, would talk off air about it. There was a moment, man. There was a moment.
Also, his arms look bigger. I mean, he's going to be a different player physically this year.
He's embraced the workout, man. He's embraced the off season. Came back not only in shape but in better shape than when the season ended, which that took extra effort, man, because we didn't have a game in December, right? And so you're just off that whole time. And for guys like him, particularly at his age, coming right out of high school, to take it serious enough to come back ready to work out says a lot about his growth.
Yeah.
Eric asks, Neely, when are we getting more of Coach Pollock and Coach Hart, more whistle episodes?
Next week.
Ooh.
Coach Pollock and Hart are out on the road doing their dog catching duties, but we are recording 2 episodes of The Whistle next week. So you'll get one next week and one the week after that.
All right.
So The Whistle is back.
What else?
Gilliam asks, with the super chat, I really think Coach Charles Kelly leaving hurt Coach Prime, and I don't think he really knows who he wants to hire. I'm really concerned. You can respond to that one.
Thank you for your concern.
All right. Next
Appreciate the
question.
super chat.
Thanks for the super chat.
Thank you, Gilliam. Alpha with the super chat. Unc, Bishop still with the Buffs.
If you mean Buffs as in the University of Colorado, yes. I saw Bishop on campus and had a great talk with him. He is growing and getting things together. If you mean buffs as far as being on the team, that remains to be seen. He has not been participating in any of the workouts and probably has a ways to go to get back in Coach Prime's good graces. And we just wish him the best in his endeavors, whatever they become. But he is on campus.
Is it fair to say he's being given a chance to earn Coach Prime's trust back?
I think it's fair to say that he's giving himself a chance to earn it back.
Okay.
You know, it's one of those things where the best ability is availability. And when somebody tells you, hey, man, get out of my face, if you get out of their face, you know, it is what it is. If you get out of their face for a couple of weeks and come back and say, like, hey,
what about
I'm working
now?
on it, like, you know,
Yeah.
you got a chance. So
right.
we'll see. We'll see. But, man, you know, Coach Prime will tell you if he was sitting here, man, when he's one of those dudes, man, when he's done with you, he's done with you. And I'm not speaking for him in that regard. I'm just saying there's some mending to take place there, and we'll see if it happens. But he is at least on campus.
All right.
Myra asks Uncle Neely, any word on Gregory Genros and Omar White? Are they still coming?
Hey,
Do you even know who
yeah,
that
I was
is?
gonna say.
Like, he might as well
It
ask
sounds
me
like
if
things
Jake's
have
cousin is
cooled.
coming.
It sounds like things have cooled on Gregory Genros for whatever reason. I don't know if it was some Sevel Smalls related or what.
Yeah.
And then Omar White, I'm not sure. I've heard some things that he might be coming, but you would know better than I.
And I don't know.
So
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. The answer is no. We don't know.
DC Wayne asks, any news on Charlie Offerdahl?
Yeah, Charlie's working, man. He's healed up. He is, you know, in the workout room. He works out mostly with Savion Wilkerson and Alto. They do their strength and conditioning
He
together.
and Savion are boys, huh?
Yeah, they're tight, man. And I don't know if they've done it yet, but I challenged the two of them to go watch a movie called Brian's Song. And it is a story about
Yeah.
Gail
All-timer,
Sayers and
yeah.
Piccolo. And I was like, man, I'm not wishing like cancer or something on you guys, but you guys are that story. Like
Yeah.
y'all are like the epitome of
that.
like race relations, football, and friendship. Y'all got to go watch Brian's Song. And I don't think they've done it yet because they hadn't reported back in. I said, watch it and let me know how you see yourself in that story. But yeah, Charlie's doing good, man, working out. He's still that guy that everybody loves to see him do well. He energizes everybody in the room.
Brian's Song is probably one of the first 3 movies I cried in.
Good job, man. Good job.
I think My Dog Skip was number 1.
I'm taking it back now.
Paisley? Is that what that says? Paisley asks, when will the team start practicing? March 18th. Mm-hmm. First day of practices.
Do 1 week of practice, then go to spring break.
And then
And
pick it right
essentially we come back March 31st. I think that's that's Easter Sunday-ish. Then you got all of April and culmination of the 15th practice, which is the spring game on April 27th.
Primetime Speaks with the super chat. Do we think Sapp is still coming?
I do. I do. I don't know in what role or capacity. The relationship between Coach Prime and Sapp has not diminished. The desire for Sapp wanting to play a role has not changed last I spoke with him. I don't think it's changed from Coach Prime. It's just a matter of where does this fit? How does this look like with his expertise? I think sometimes and we went through this at Jackson State, Coach Prime would have a visitor, you see, Troy Aikman on campus, and everybody's like, oh, he's the new quarterback coach. Like, dude, he's just a friend coming to see a friend. Like,
Yeah.
So people will see a Sapp, got his degree. Oh, he's going to be DC. He's going to be D-line coach. I mean, he might just be an analyst. He might just be a friend,
Yeah.
of the program and coming in and support when he can. But I think there is a role opportunity for Warren Sapp in Boulder at some point.
Well, I think it was pretty recently. Warren Sapp posted on his Instagram a picture of like a selfie of him with an alligator behind him, or a crocodile, I think an alligator. And Coach Prime commented like, "Man, stop! We need you."
Yep.
So I think he still wants him coming around.
Yeah, he absolutely does. And one of the things that Coach Prime appreciates about his football friends, Hall of Famers, the ones that could coach or even have an interest in coaching, he knows the hours of this coaching thing we got going when it gets going.
Yep.
And he knows that, man, some guys like to golf, some guys like to hunt. Like, you may think you want to coach, but the other activities you're doing, you might want to like get that out your system, then report.
Right.
Because once we're here, mid-July, August, like we're here to New Year's this year, man.
Yep.
Mike with the super chat. Is Baby T.O. in town? Cordell Russell? Is he there?
I draw so many blanks on the face.
Massive as hell. Like 6'4",
yeah.
220.
Yeah.
I saw a video of him working out recently. It did not look like it was in Boulder.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't
He'll
say
be
I've
here
seen
when
him.
he's here, guys.
Yeah, I can't say I've seen him.
On that note, 14,000 people have asked if you've seen Anquin Barnes.
Yes. He posted on Instagram that he was in Boulder. So
I saw the same post you saw.
that's all I can tell you.
Yeah, I saw the same post you saw.
Dave asking, who's the Coleman kid that we see in the videos? Do you know who that is?
No, I don't know the question. I mean, I'd like what
Someone-
Coleman kid?
Someone
Is this like Ken Norton again?
No,
No.
someone from the program told me he's a walk-on. I don't know
Yeah.
who it is though.
Okay.
I think people thought it was Kevin Coleman for a second.
I know.
It's not.
Oh, the receiver?
Yeah.
No, he went to Mississippi State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Like, only Coleman I know would be Kevin, and he's left the Cardinals to go to the Bulldogs.
The thing is, like, they all have the names on the back of their shirts. So then people are watching the workouts. They see a name that they
I
haven't
got
seen
you.
before.
Okay.
And
All
they're
right.
like,
Now I
Coleman.
get the context. I didn't get the context on the question. Like, Coleman, who? Coleman Coolers?
Adrian with the super chat. Have y'all seen whether the Big Ten
And SEC.
and SEC are teaming up? It's getting to the point where the NCAA will have no say-so in what they do, and they're going to take the basketball with them. They're taking it home. No, I doubt that happens. I saw.
It's all going to happen eventually.
Well,
Is this question relative to a super conference? Or what are they talking about?
no, they're like
The Big Ten and SEC created like a committee.
an advisory
I
committee.
got you.
Yeah.
It's the beginning of what I've been talking about forever,
Yes.
which is the two-conference system in college football.
Yes.
And so
Pretty much.
eventually you're getting the All-State Conference and the State Farm Conference. Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad you put sponsors with it because that's what's going to dictate.
Oh, yeah, it's all about money. And you're either in it or you're out. And if you're out, college football might as well be a club sport at your school now.
We need relegation and promotion.
We need Jake as head of the NCAA.
I agree.
A little too emotional for me.
That's what we need. Passion. He's going to fire it up, baby.
Big TC says Jake transforms to Jaquan in February.
Oh, my God.
He's already looking out for the police. Who knows, man?
God.
Jake Ward, I love it. That might replace Jakey Poo in 2024. My man Jake Wan.
I'll break out the Neely Peely.
We're good. We're good. She called me that today, and I thought about you. I walked by.
I saw that dude and I was dying laughing when I read
And when
it.
you sent it to him, I was like, of all people to see it, why did Jake have to see it?
Well, you got to have a counter move for all Unk's moves.
He
It just
countered
took
me
you a
with that
year
one.
to
I got
figure
one
it out.
now.
He countered me with that one, man. Hey, Neely Peely, Peasy, whatever rhymes.
Dino.
Wait, real quick. When we did an early show because the schedule came out at 9 a.m. that one day.
Wednesday.
And
That was a great show, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Will, our old intern, commented and said, "Wakey, wakey, eggs and Jakey."
Jake, are you up? He's not used to early shows.
Always up. Dina says, Unc, will you and Big Dog do any more collabs?
I'm sure. I'm sure we will. A lot of times, Coach Prime has me pull together some other content creators out there, who don't necessarily get a chance to come to the press conferences at the school, and he takes some time with. And so I know me and Big Dog will be out, including that and outside of that, sitting down and having a chat or two.
And then Darius Swift sends just the regular $1.99 super chat. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate
Thank
it,
you.
Darius.
Anything else? I saw. Can you go all the way down?
That's what she said.
There was. No, there was something I wanted to talk about. I can't remember. Oh, pro days. I haven't gotten any words on pro days yet.
Man, yeah, I had the date.
The spring game is officially set for April 27th.
Yeah, it'll definitely be before that.
Yeah, it was March something. I took a.
Okay.
Man, I'll text it to you. It's back at the
Okay.
office.
So there you go.
So the
sometime in
date,
March.
the date is firm.
Cool. That'll be a fun day. I can't wait.
Oh, think about next year's pro day.
Oh,
Yeah.
next year's pro day is going to be It's
We
going to
need
be
tickets.
exclusive.
Should
Yeah,
sell tickets.
no doubt. Anything else?
I just happened to see starting my Carter's
Yeah.
doing good, man, healing up.
Torn labrum, right?
Yeah, he's doing good. Good attitude, man. Good kid, you know.
So for all the people who are wondering why got so bad at the end of last year,
He was
in
hurt,
quotes,
man.
so bad,
Yeah.
he had basically one arm.
Yeah, he was totally injured out there and still trying
And he was working through it all year.
all year.
Also, shout out Skull Buffs Daily. That was the space that I jumped in last night. I got to say, man, the fact that every single day and night people are getting together to talk about the Buffs is like a dream come true to me. I'll try to hop in as many as I can when people are out there doing those spaces, but there's a time where I couldn't, go door to door and find someone to talk Buffs with me. Now the whole world wants to talk Buffs. So, I know a lot of different people host them. I'm down to jump in. Last night was just kind of perfect timing. I was just chilling, playing Madden on the couch. Hopped in and chatted with the people. It was awesome.
Good stuff. I love it. I love it.
Arden said yesterday he saw the new uniforms. Have you seen them?
I have.
What can you share?
I was about to say I'm not at liberty to discuss yet. By order of Smitty,
On a scale of 1 to 10, how dope are they?
13.
21.
As far as you can go, 21. Yeah.
13. And the beauty of it is, once again, like last year, you got the uni, right? But you can mix and match from the other unis and change a face mask. So it's when I say 13, it goes up to 21 or 30 with what you can do with the different layouts, designs. Mix and matching.
Combos.
Yeah, you take this pants, this jersey, and you wear that week 1, and now you can take this jersey and that helmet for week 6, and it looks like a totally different thing.
Arden and I didn't end up playing Madden yesterday.
Did you end up playing Yukari yet? Again?
No, I did not play Yukari either. I did win my playoff game though. I'm
Congratulations.
You blow these guys out so bad, you have time to text us and tell us the score.
I know, pretty much. Shador's no longer selling barbecue sauce.
Man, I think I'm down to the last bottle that I have.
Really?
And it's like my favorite barbecue sauce. So
I've still got a few.
this guy, man, he's always hoarding the gifts that we get.
Just because I don't use all my barbecue sauce when I get it doesn't mean I'm hoarding it.
How
for
many
me.
bottles have you ever been in possession of, like combined?
6?
Yeah,
See, me too.
I've only got like 3.
Yeah, I've had 6, and when I got down to 2, I didn't open them. I put them up,
This was even
like to never open.
Yeah.
not that long ago, like a few weeks ago. Parker gave me like 2 bottles in like an apron.
This is unbelievable, man.
So yeah, we got a Shador's number 2 barbecue apron now.
I'm gonna need to fire somebody just to send
You
a
gotta
message.
shake some shit up
Yeah.
around here, man.
Yeah.
See, that's on you.
That is.
Yeah, you got it, man. Look, let it be known
Yeah.
and do it randomly.
We're gonna exactly. And publicly.
Yes.
Coach Kev says, "RK, what's your gamer tag on Madden?"
RK_DNVR.
There you go. Can
I
we
gotta
discuss?
change mine to something memorable like that.
Can we discuss the potential too deep for CU? That's a whole
That's
show.
a whole
man.
show, yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to that at some point.
We will. We'll do the whole starting lineup show.
Soon enough here.
About time, yeah. After Super Bowl, maybe.
Yep.
Reminder, we will be at Super Bowl next week, Monday through Friday, Radio Row shows. I don't even know what to promise you guys other than it's going to be crazy.
I literally have no idea what to expect.
You know what? Coach Primer's going to work Radio Row, so I would, if I were y'all out there, I would expect it.
I'm not even expecting that, but I'm certainly hoping for and trying to speak it into existence.
Same.
My J's are clean, bro.
Somebody said, RK, clean your J's.
Like these are.
No, they are clean. This is
I
the
mean,
lighting.
do you
It's
clean the
just-
bottom of your shoes? That's what you're seeing. Anyways, yeah, we're gonna have some incredible guests. I mentioned this the other day, but the reason we're taking this show to Radio Row is because everyone in the world wants to talk about Coach Prime.
Yeah.
Our other shows are obviously so focused on one NFL team that there's not as much opportunity to talk to people, but the whole football world is
Absolutely.
interested, and a lot of these people have relationships with Coach Prime,
Yeah.
so we're gonna try to.
You got a team in the Super Bowl that he played with and won with. There's a lot
Mm-hmm.
of synergy there.
There's gonna be a lot of opportunities,
And
so I can't wait.
and you're RK and it's in Vegas.
Yeah, that's also.
Alexis wants you to do a Madden stream. I think you should live too.
I really want to. I want to start streaming with playing against the players and streaming it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
We should.
Instead of texting us and telling us how much you're winning by, which we don't have any proof of. So players out there, if he's really beating y'all, let us know.
Don Peasy with the super chat says the best trio in CFB podcasting from yesterday. The program is the most underrated football movie all time. I haven't seen that one.
Also, someone in the comments yesterday, I haven't seen it. Maybe I have seen it. Someone in the comments yesterday was like, "You're crazy for saying Dave Logan's the best coach in Colorado history. Like, put some respect on Andy Lowry. Great coach, by the way. 12 state championships to 5. We're talking here.
Yeah, it's not close.
That's a big difference.
So just saying.
I saw Are We Doing Anything for the spring game? And that is absolutely a yes.
Of course.
In fact, all of April, every day, when we really get into, well, I guess we'll start that week of March when practice starts, and then we take a week off for spring break. But yeah, all of April for quote unquote spring ball. And man, there's going to be updates from practice. What did we see? What did we learn? They don't think we would skip that, do they?
No, and we'll also have a tailgate.
Yeah.
Yep.
With a pregame and postgame show for the spring game. And hopefully the spring game doesn't go into triple overtime.
Jabriel says we should just get Coach Prime on to announce the DC. Now we've gone from speaking into existence to just pipe dreams, but I like it.
No, I like the Hail Mary, man. Let's throw it.
That'll be my first question.
Spring game. What are we thinking weather-wise? Do we avoid the snow this time?
It's gonna be fine. I saw someone on Twitter like,
I know.
I want to go, but I don't know if it's gonna
Coach
snow.
Riz responded.
Yeah. It's gonna be fine. It's not gonna snow back-to-back years on the last weekend of April.
Yep.
Speaking of Coach
Knock on
Riz, we'll see tomorrow on the pregame shows. Be sure to check out his sit-down with us. I asked him about the challenges. He's a Florida guy. The challenges of recruiting, to Colorado. And he said, well, you got to understand, the fans got to understand, I go after guys that are going to play on Sunday. And when you play on Sunday, you might be playing in Green Bay. You might be playing in Buffalo. So talking to a guy to come play ball in Colorado is not a hard thing to do because these are guys who are prepared to play anywhere the National Football League plays.
Love it.
Yes, spring game will be on TV. Time and network to be announced.
Also, I love Sam Pagano and Tom McCartney, 2 great Fairview head coaches. My alma mater, but still not on the level of Dave Logan.
And the bottom of your shoes are not dirty.
It's just
Considering
crazy.
that they're the bottom of the shoes.
I think I just have hecklers.
Yeah,
They're
I
just
think so.
heckling me now.
This was a great week of content, I thought.
It was, man. I mean, multiple player guests. We had Unk.
We had a schedule release show.
21 questions.
Yep.
A lot of people obviously commented on the audio. That was out of our control. It was on Justin's side, but we've got 2 more 21 questions coming. Mm-hmm. Those were in studio. Eventually, we're going to have Unk on 21 questions.
Yep.
So
unfiltered.
There you go.
And we're going to get 3 types of deodorant.
Stay tuned here, guys. We'll be live. What's our time? 1 or 1:30 next week? 1?
I don't know. Hey, why'd you ask me? Ask Alyssa.
We'll be live around the same time that we usually are, maybe a little bit earlier.
The person that you can't see is in charge.
I want to say it's 2 Colorado time.
I'm just gonna check.
I think it's 1 Vegas time.
We are on at 1 Vegas time.
I guess you did ask the right person.
So 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. So 30 minutes after you're used to. But hopefully just some legendary shows next week.
Yeah, hopefully.
And legendary in the weeks to come. This is going to be a beautiful year for this joint thing of ours that we do, man.
Oh, yeah.
We got some dope stuff coming. I almost said dope shit coming. And then I said dope shit coming. Yeah, I know I can, but yeah. I cussed in class last night and Coach Brian went,
oh, no.
What'd you say?
I said shit.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I always liked my professors that cursed a little more.
Yeah. I mean, I was making a point.
True.
They got the message.
Yeah.
I didn't do it like, you piece of shit. Like, it wasn't that kind of cuss.
Tons of content out there right now. Tons of content coming this week. Go check out the film room. Go check out 21 Questions after the show is over on our page with Justin Mayers. Go check out Unk's stuff over at the pregame show. and his combo with Coach Riz and the whistle coming up.
Yeah, lots of stuff. Lots of stuff coming. We'll be starting back the rewind with me and Tolly Carr next week as well. And I got to say this hat feels great.
Hey, this is the
You look
longest
good in
outro
that.
of all time.
I know. Skull Buffs.
Skull Buffs.
We all silly like